Hello, Cancer signs. Welcome to your weekly reading with me. We're going to just dive straight in and see what's going on for you guys. If you are an OG, you might remember that I used to do channeled messages in the beginning for the elements, and I did it again this week. So let me know what you guys think. So for the water signs, the main mess is a very sentimental, emotionally driven week. So it's so important to really put your heart out on a table here and really figure out what's going on there. What do you need to heal? It's really a good time to be vulnerable, but also in terms of who are your community, right? It's a really important time to see how that might be emotionally impacting you, your relationships. This is a good time, I believe, for community and relationships, or at the very least, really understanding maybe where problems might be coming from and figuring things out. Another thing I wanted to mention with that was that this is a really important time for gratitude. Like I said, it's quite an emotional walled energy that's going on this week for the water signs, which doesn't surprise me. You guys are water signs. It is all about emotions, but especially this week. Okay. One thing I was hearing for a lot of water sign people is that this is a really important time to put down the heavy load, right? It's a really important time for resting or really paying attention to your emotional world, your spiritual world, your physical body even as well. Like, it's a really important time for healing. So pay attention to what you're feeding or how much you're drinking, right? Pay attention to who, again, you are around. How are they affecting you emotionally? What are you even watching online? I've been saying to everyone today that your online world is just as important as your physical world, right? So it could be a good time to detox, or again, detox who you're subscribed to on YouTube or what you're using on your apps, what you're paying attention to, because it might be impacting your day to day. It's a really big time for gratitude. So if you want, feel free to list some things in the morning or during your day that you're really grateful for, because when I was doing a pre-shuffle to get some energies out for you guys, the blessed card came up, which is number one, really reflecting on life and understanding some areas where you may have dodged a bullet. It kind of gave me the feeling like, oh, I'm really glad that I didn't get what I wanted in that specific time of my life, because I wouldn't be where I am today if that had happened. It's really about reflecting on how blessed you are right now. Even if there are things that you want in your life that you've not got yet, stop focusing on that. Make sure that you focus on gratitude, because wherever your energy flows, your attention goes, your energy flows. And if you're focusing on gratitude, you'll have even more things to be grateful for, and it will, keep coming your way. And the opposite also is true too. So if you're focusing too much on what you lack, you're going to find more things that you lack, and you're going to attract more things that you lack. So again, focusing on gratitude is important. Feeling blessed today is important. So yeah, there's that. What else was I getting as well? Putting down or letting go of the heavy load, being able to rest and heal. Your sleep is important. Healing is important. Some of you need to be aware of allergies at this time. Don't know why, but just make sure you're paying extra attention. There was a vacation trip or some sort of movement coming up for someone. I also heard that there are people who can help you. You don't need to worry about something alone. And then I also heard, get ready for a new adventure. Lead with your heart when chasing your dreams. All right, my angels. So with that being said, let's dive straight into your goddess oracles. Thank you. Wow, these are some new ones. I believe that we've had, I don't know. I don't think we've had transformation. So this is going to be quite important. So I never know how to pronounce names, so I'm going to let you read it. Let me know in the comments how you pronounce it. But medicine woman, you are a channel for divine healing power, and that also represents yourself too. So maybe some of you are wanting to heal others, stepping into industries where you're a healer in some way, or again, it's about your ability to heal yourself also. Green Tara says start delegating, right? And that makes sense with the channeled messages that we were saying about letting go of the heavy load. You don't need to do everything alone. So this is quite good for that. It says ask others, including me, so Green Tara, to help you instead of trying to do everything by yourself. So that's very important, Cancer signs. Okay, Ishel, I think it is, but I don't know. And you also have Butterfly Maiden, which is interesting. Transformation. You are experiencing enormous change right now, which brings great blessings. Okay, well, let's dive into your tarot, shall we? What's going on for Cancer signs right now? Okay, love that. Now, that is a card all about you focusing on your future and where you want to go. Okay. And the loyal hearts came up, which is why I was saying about loyalty and community being important. So these first two do feel like a connected message. So I'm going to speak about them individually. So Observer is like the Two of Wands, right? Thinking about where you want to go in the future, where you want to settle down. Some of you, this might be moving homes. It could just be a dream or a goal that you're wanting to move towards. But where you are right now is important to getting that, because I always say the Fox is observing, thinking about where he wants to go, but there's an egg in this present moment that might actually be the thing that helps you to get there. So remember, it's great to have big dreams and goals, but your present moment is what's going to take you there. So that's very important. What are you doing on a day-to-day? But in this case, I mean, it could be a good time just to visualize. The next thing you have is a leg up. So I feel like Spirit's saying, get clear on what you want, because we're going to take you there. Because a leg up is about receiving help. It is a bit about delegating, where you don't have to do everything alone. If you're tired, stop pushing yourself. Go and ask Mama Bear for help. The universe, someone around you. Okay, it's time to kind of allow yourself to rest. Okay. That's important. Getting a little bit of a boost. There's nothing wrong with it. Sometimes when this card comes in, whenever I'm reading for someone and this card comes up, it usually means that the person I'm speaking to has some hyper independence. You have a hard time letting people help you because maybe you were a bit of a control freak. I'm a Virgo, so I can do that too. I feel like my way is the best way. But sometimes you might need to let other people take the reins, and that's okay. Just detach control in some areas, okay? Maybe you're a bit of a perfectionist. You feel like I'm the only one that can really do it perfectly right. But this is a time where you need to rest and you need to heal, so allow others to help you at this time where you got a lot of messages. This is the third message. 6 minutes in, that's actually bringing up that same thing. Now, this can also be speaking about direction in life, right? You might know where to go, but then surrender and allow Spirit to take you, because the fox looking at the moon. How on earth is a fox going to get to the moon, right? It seems impossible, but the reality is I think that you're going to be guided there. So allow yourself to believe in the impossible, right? Dream big in terms of where you want your life to go and where you see it when you visualize. So loyal heart is important. All right, this is about picking the right soulmates, right? People who are able to help you in times where you need it. This could again be about relationships, allowing yourself to lean on your partner or people around you. What else am I getting from that? Loyal hearts can really just be about any kind of dynamic in your life where people have got your back. So again, maybe you need to focus on growing your community to have more people like that around you if you don't have it already. But let's dive into your tarot then. All right, for Cancer signs, what's going on for them? You got Star, Queen of Cups. So again, emotional time, healing. Again, that's leading with your heart and chasing your dreams. Actually, that's exactly what that combo represents. So that's funny that was a channeled message. Lead with your heart when chasing your dreams. Be open to receiving. Also, all right, what's going on for Cancer signs? I'm hearing like an affirmation where it's like I'm choosing, or I'm making a choice that today is going to be a good day. All right, Knight of Wands, that's nice energy of the week, because it does speak about ambitions. It does speak about, chasing your curiosities, learning about new things, maybe even education for some. It's a card of expansion, which would make some sense with the Observer card. It's time to expand, and maybe you feel that energy too. The energy of the week is about learning, so be open to learning, be open to new experiences, be open to being spontaneous as well, because you are going to have a lot of success. During this week, you're going to be feeling quite happy, and maybe you are finally getting some reward for your hard work when you let other people do it. For some of you, I am seeing a little bit like you may be feeling a bit undervalued. But the moment that you take a step back and let other people do the hard work that you've been doing, you'll start to see they're going to start singing your praises, because they didn't realize what you're doing is as hard as it is. Because I'm just seeing here like, okay, now that you're on this horse here, like Mama Bear, people now are like, oh wow, Cancer signs, I didn't realize it was this hard, congratulations for doing what you're doing. So expect other people to see you during this time and what you've been through, because the Six of Wands is also about overcoming battles, right? So you have overcome battles. So there's a little bit of mixture messages here. I do feel like people are going to be singing your praises anyway. It is a card of success and victory, so expect yourself to be celebrating something or be celebrated. In the near future, so over the next few weeks, you are in a star card position, which again is about hope, healing, dreams, goals, wish fulfillment. Okay, so that's a nice energy to have. Eight of Pentacles says whatever you guys are working on right now, especially if you guys are enrolling in some sort of education to grow your knowledge, to then grow your income, that looks really awesome for you, or whatever skills, talents, abilities you're working on, this looks really good, especially financially as well. Your challenges this week is about moving or moving on. And Page of Pentacles, starting something new, taking the first step to maybe a new journey. Your advice, gorgeous, and this is a beautiful week. I'm not gonna lie for you guys. And the energy of the near future is the King of Cups, so that definitely looks like a love interest. So it could be something going on there. The Ten of Swords on the bottom of the deck represents the end of an era, right? The end of a difficulty in your life, where maybe you felt stabbed in the back, a lot of pessimism, a lot of dark night of the soul, should I say, because the Nine of Swords is worries, doubts, fears, pessimism with the Five of Cups, worrying too much about what you can't control, the past, whatever it is. Ten of Swords is like, that's coming to an end, because what I'm seeing at this time is so much more. But let's clarify it. Yeah, let's clarify it, then I'll go over anything I've been missing. So the Knight of Wands, why is this the energy of the week? King of Swords. So the King of Swords is all about being logical, being clear. So if there's anything that you're not clear on, that makes some sense with the Observer card. It's time to get clear on where you want to go, because my goodness, you're going to go after it. The King of Swords, again, placing boundaries, speaking up for yourself is important. Again, start delegating for sure, but it is also about clarity and strategy. So some of you again need to get clear. The World card, why is this the advice for Cancer signs? So Six of Cups, and the interesting Three of Swords is here reversed, so it is about reversing past pains, right? Or healing them at the very least. Six of Cups can of course be about children, but because this is advice, this is about a new cycle coming up in your life. Some of you could be having children. That's a new chapter for a relationship, right? If you are dealing with someone here, that could be healing, maybe some pains or pain, what do they call it? Pain problems? I don't know. Anyways, pain points in relationships, it could be healing that by working together. Okay, Six of Cups is really good. If I'm just going to keep talking about love, if you're dealing with someone, connection is so important. Do not disconnect from each other. If you are in a nice relationship, happy, healthy relationship, but there is some pain points going on there, maybe some miscommunication or misunderstandings, whatever it may be, or even just some difficulties that you guys might be struggling with, I do see that there is really good coming together, but we need to be open up to each other. Six of Cups tells me you both feel the same way towards each other, so connect with that, okay? Anyways, for the majority of you, others of you, the Six of Cups is about, overcoming the past, as we've seen. There's 10 of Swords, 9 of Swords, 5 of Cups. It is about transforming yourself, like we've seen here with the Butterfly Maiden. So Six of Cups, letting go of pains of the past so you can move forward, whether it be relationships, in life in general. Your advice being the World says end old cycles so that you can begin new ones, okay? If you don't like how you've been being recently, or you feel like a bit of a doormat to people, it's time to start speaking up for yourself, right? Don't just allow it to keep unfolding. That's a part of the Five of Cups. He's worried, oh, look at this little cat, he's spilling all my cups, but he's not changing it, right? You have to take control of situations. And the Emperor is also your advice card of the same thing. Sometimes you have to do things that are hard decisions to be made, right? The Emperor is building an empire, so that's what you're doing. You're building your future for yourself, a life for yourself. Imagine your life as a book, right? You're writing the book. It's your story. So you get to control the narrative. And if other people are controlling the narrative, you have to snatch that pen back, right? And remind people this is your life. It's not theirs. Okay? Anyway, I don't know what that means for you, but the Emperor being there, you're building an empire. Sometimes decisions are hard in life, and that's just a reality of it. It doesn't make it easier, but just knowing it gives us a little bit of security and understanding, okay, this is what we're going to expect. The Emperor says, you're building an empire. Not everyone's going to agree with your decisions. Not everyone's going to enjoy what you're doing. And maybe you might not even enjoy it, right? He's sitting on a very stone, hard throne. It's not comfortable being in control all the time, but being disciplined, understanding that, it's in your control and you're in a position of authority in your life. might help you. All right. But maybe a good time to be more disciplined in general, because that will help you make better decisions too. Anywho, what are you talking about? Why is so letting go of the past is your advice there, so you can heal that and move forward, start a new cycle. Why is the Six of Swords a challenge? So both of these really are about crossing that emotional barrier that I always speak about, the Knight of Cups. It's not really the main message. Knight of Cups is about wearing your heart in your sleeve, being open, being vulnerable, to do something, to move away from chaos and into calmer waters. It could be the same thing about, being open and vulnerable and allowing other people to help you. Right? Maybe you're not the one rowing the boat. It could be someone else. Again, the universe could be guiding you. But on your side, your challenge, I guess, is about being in a vulnerable position. Six of Swords also is like temporary positions. Maybe you're in temporary stays. Maybe you're in a temporary job. Or maybe you're just in a period of discomfort during this week, which makes you feel a bit vulnerable to move towards better days, right? The star is out there. Your wish fulfillment is out there, which you will be achieving. Stability. But you have to get through those difficult feelings and emotions. I always use the example of, like, if you want to be a public speaker or do anything, right? Apply it however it is. You have to start public speaking, right? You can practice as much as your skills as possible. But if your anxiety is based on speaking in front of a crowd, you're going to have to ease yourself into it by doing it, right? So again, there's ways of making it easier, but most of the time you have to just confront your anxieties or confront your feelings, because that's the only way you're going to get to that new territory, that life that you want for yourself. So however that applies for you, that's your challenge here, is moving towards the better days that are ahead of you. And I do it like that because it's the only way I can describe it, not because it's not real. It is real. Six of Swords, you're moving towards better days. But it gets uncomfortable, right? It's a bit rocky at first. You're going to have to get used to being in a boat. All right, temporary movement, but it looks good here. Wait, why is the Eight of Pentacles here? The Moon, smelling shampoo. So the Moon coming through is about feelings. So in a way, some of you are working on your shadow side. I love that energy, by the way, for a lot of you, right? Maybe you guys are working with the Moon also to help yourself maybe manifest or build an abundance. But let me get one more for that. Why is the Eight of Pentacles here? Ace of Swords, which is all about truth, clarity, maybe even communication, but it does feel more like clarity. Sorry, I like to see cards come to life, and I'm just waiting for it to do that. What exactly is the Moon doing here? Upside down. Oh no, it's not. The Empress. So dealing with your feelings of worthiness and being in a position of receiving and not always having to be the one doing all the work. The Empress is about abundance. She also has very differently a different throne to the Emperor, right? Hers is much more comfortable. So what they represent, yin and yang, I guess, that there is time for action, control, discipline, survival, and the Empress represents the flow and the opposite, right? Of there's strength and vulnerability, there's strength in love and comfort, right? They offer different things, but both can build an abundance. So I feel like for a lot of you, it is about building your worthiness, understanding that you're worthy of love, great things. And once you recognize that truth, you're going to start seeing a lot of result. Maybe in your finances, maybe you start working towards things because you have this new clarity, right? Yeah, so this is the shadow work that you guys are doing to open up a bit more to love and receiving, right? The Empress is about flow and attracting and not always needing to chase. Eight of Pentacles there, though, suggests that you are doing some work, but you're not always having to force things. Some of you are going into things or doing things that you'll actually end up enjoying. I see like arts, talents, build on that, right? What am I seeing with that? Not everything has to just be like hard work, right? Sometimes it's about doing things that you're passionate about too in life. What else am I seeing here? Sorry, I'm just really trying to tap into what I'm seeing because it's there, but it's quite hard. There is forgiveness coming up too, maybe with a mother figure, just for someone out there. It is slipping through my mind, but there is something I wanted to say here. You know, I think for some of you, it's also confronting your fears, but the Eight of Pentacles just looks like I see you like doing something that you're actually happy to do. Let's see how that comes up for you. Why is the Six of Wands in Cancer signs energy? Judgment. Oh, how people see. Because judgment coming on top of that leg up, like I said, when you get support, I feel like that's also part of where the transformation happens. So once you let go of control over some aspects and start delegating, I do feel like things are going to change here. Maybe you're going to feel like there is a lighter load, right? People are actually here to help you. You can train them up and don't have to always do things on your own. Anyways, the Judgment card is about truth, clarity, surrendering and releasing so you can get help, and also things can be a little bit easier for you, at least during the week. So anything else about that? Judgment also speaks about an epiphany when you do this. It's something that you're going to learn and that other people are going to learn too, so it's important. Hearing, don't get in the way of other people's karma. Sometimes you like to run around and help people out, but sometimes you're getting in the way of people's karma. There's some things that people need to learn in their life that you might be taking control of to make it easier for them. You know, if that makes any sense to you. I'm not saying just leave people, you know, and not help them, but I feel like some of you might need to help guide people and not just do all the work for them, if that makes sense. King of Cups, why is this in the energy of the near future? Oh, well, it is romance for some. Heart to heart, maybe. The Page of Cups is a surprising emotional message. What is that about? Oh, that's an epiphany. I'm not going to lie. It looked scary. Someone says, I need to talk. And you're like, oh, shit. What does that mean? But I think it's a pleasant surprise, because King of Cups is usually, I mean, it could be you are a water sign, so some of you are paying attention to your innermost feelings. The Tower and the Hanged Man is, yes, this does create a little bit of a shake up in your foundation or your belief system. It might change things in your life, but it's usually for the better when the Tower card comes in, because it is divine intervention. And in this case, it looks like it's coming from a place of enlightenment. Hangman suggests that there's something to learn from the situation by looking at it differently. And in fact, the Hangman is also the observer too, which makes sense with your main oracle, that there's an observation. So maybe you're observing your own feelings, you're getting clarity and enlightenment here. But for a lot of you, I do also feel like this could be related to a love interest, if you have one. King of Cups is usually, you know, a partner. Page of Cups is news from this person. Tower and the Hanged Man looks a little bit like someone's learning something, and it could be what I said, or I didn't realize you were doing so much work, now things are going to change, I'll help you more, you know, that kind of thing. So Star card being here is about healing as well. Anything else about what is this epiphany or enlightenment here? The Nine of Pentacles. You see how that also jumped on top of the leg up, which is about delegating as well, or allowing people to help you. Nine of Pentacles is now you're sitting in an energy of, it's financial freedom, but it's also like independence. You have a bit more independence, which is interesting. So I wonder if something frees up more time for you, or people are now helping you. Some of you, if you're self-employed, you know, you could be getting some help, people to work for you, and now you have more free time, you know, like building your team up. Or in a relationship, I just feel like you have more time to enjoy some luxuries, right? Because that's what the Nine of Pentacles is about. All right, so what about the Page of Pentacles? Why is this a challenge? Ooh, I'm going to take that. Nine of Swords. Feels a little bit like overcoming fears and anxieties when it comes down to starting something new. That could be a new job. The Page of Pentacles, to me, yes, it is an apprentice card. So it could be that you're entering a new job role or a new company that's completely new to you, right? I don't know these people. I don't know what I need to do in my work. I have to be trained. You know, it's almost like the energy of starting fresh, but in a very stable way, right? The Page of Pentacles is guaranteed to then turn into the Knight, to the Queen and the King. So whatever you're worried about now, they just say, take the first step, all right? Because you are going to get there in the end, right? Sometimes we're worried and overwhelmed. How am I going to get to the moon? How am I going to get to these goals? First step, enter the field. Some of you are worried about it. It could be a good time to just learn, right? New knowledge, I think, is really going to get you out of your head and into new experiences and new things. Anything else about the Page of Pentacles being a challenge? Hearing song Sweet Dreams or A Beautiful Nightmare by Beyonce. Don't know what the lyrics are, but I think it might be suggesting some feelings around that. So Two of Pentacles, which is about balancing, right? Feelings wise, yes, you're still getting into the gist of things, but you're starting to grow from that one pentacle to the two, and you're becoming busier. You know, I just feel like you're gonna start coming out of your head and actually being a bit more busy in your life. That's your challenge though, so you gotta do it first, right? Why is the Emperor in the advice position? King of Wands, well, definitely being a leader. Being able to adapt, trusting in your ability to adapt, right? With the decision making, pivoting, right? One more about this. Why is this the advice for Cancer signs? It's all about your legacy and your financial freedom and stuff like that. So I feel like making better decisions, trusting in yourself to make decisions as well. But that really feels like gaining control of your life, you know. That's really going to help you with your future. 10 of Pentacles, your future. Financial stability. Any other advice about that energy? Or Queen of Pentacles, jumping on top of transformation. So yes, you are going to be in a very wealthy position in this next chapter of your life. Okay, abundance for sure. Financial freedom for sure. Stability for sure. All right, and the Star. Why is this? Oh, the Fool tried to come up. Why is the Star the energy of Cancer signs in the near future? Interesting. This is on top of Loyal Heart. Woo! 4 of Wands, the Star. That is about celebration, wish fulfillment. Fool card is a leap of faith. Right. Shall we speak about it? This is not going to be a message for everybody, but clearly something for someone that needs to hear it. 2 of Cups over Loyal Hearts in the energy of the near future with a leap of faith. Some of you might be deciding to let someone go, because 2 of Cups usually represent soulmates. There's someone around you who is not a good soulmate or not a soulmate. What does that mean? King of Pentacles. Could be an earth sign, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Doesn't have to be though. You could be healing from the past, right? Too. Because this is not a main message for everyone. Like I said, I do like for the majority of you some relationship that you're in. But for some of you, there is, you will know. With 2 of Cups, King of Pentacles. Or there's at least someone around you who's not a very loyal person, loyal companion. What is that about, please? The Hermit, Virgo energy. So you're reflecting, you're healing, you're taking a leap of faith. But why did 2 of Cups come up on top of Ace of Cups? That's on top of what? Medicine woman. You're a channel for divine healing power. Ace of Cups is about love, right? True love. So I wonder if that's something that is important to come first. Self-love, healing yourself, a new emotional journey. This feels mainly for people who have been through, again, maybe a difficult soulmate, maybe someone showing up better this time. It's up to you. Oh, that's a confusing one. Like I said, someone's gonna message you though. 5 of Cups, they're disappointed. It could be an old friend, someone who was not loyal to you, or the Lovers, right? Someone feels like they made bad choices. Yes, they were reckless. They were reckless, they were silly, you know, they were just running around, but someone's coming in with a very stable offer now. And this could be a person you're dealing with, right? Whoever it is, that's what the message is. So the Hermit says that you get to decide on this situation, right? Because the Hermit is looking at the Star. What do I want? Is this aligned with my future, with my goals? Is this genuine? Oh, they don't want to tell you. I'm going to pull one out anyway. Is this genuine? I guess it'll be different for everybody. 5 of Pentacles, 3 of Swords. 2 of Swords, 7 of Swords, 7 of Cups. For some, whoever this is, wanting to be your friend again, wanting to be in your life again. Majority, you know, maybe not. But they are coming through with something stable, but you know, I feel like maybe there's some promises that they actually can't keep. So just pay attention to who this person is in your life, right? Could be an old friend for sure. Because I don't feel lovers, but if you're single and you've had a you know, crappy person in the past, then that would make some sense. And maybe this is why in your advice you have new cycles coming up. So for some of you, this could be that there are better soulmates out there for you if you're single. If you are in a relationship and it's happy, then I actually like that. I don't feel like that resonates with you. That could definitely be, though, a friendship coming up. You know, someone who may have betrayed you in the past or reckless and stupid, you know, completely on different wavelengths, you and this person, whoever they are. They feel like they want stability, but I feel like that's just a wish. They're offering it to you. They want a connection with you again, but I feel like this person drags people down, whether they realize it or not. In one way, maybe I feel a bit sorry for them if they're not a super bad person, but it's like they don't have the capacity to change their own life, so they're kind of like trying to find people that will help them, which is fine, but it's like using, you know, it and still not being able to change their life. You know, it's almost like they're their own biggest blockage, and they're having a hard time accepting that. So I just get a little bit of like being dragged down, or, you know, by that person. So whoever that is, pay attention, and not a good influence. But that's that. I wish you guys all the best. I send you my love. I hope you guys have an amazing and incredible week. Lots of transformation coming up for you, Cancer sign, so good luck with it. But if you enjoy, make sure you guys like and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time, okay?